Alright, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about a man who goes by the name of Ray Shelton, who used to be a 5th grade teacher. Some of you might be familiar with this story, some of you may not be familiar with this story, but pretty much. There's this guy, that's him right here, holding a swastika, very normal, very normal thing, in his hand. He was a 5th grade teacher. And one day, him and this other guy named Jordan Henry, this guy over here, totally normal looking people, they showed up to the school board meeting on the 16th of April, and you can see it. I mean, the picture speaks for itself. He's just holding a swastika. He has a swastika in his hand. Now, Ray Shelton's friend, the guy in the jacket that you saw with the glasses, he said that the swastika was a totally normal thing because it was a meme. It was a meme of 4 trans flags arranged to look like a swastika because, totally normal shit. At a school board meeting, a clear ironic use of a symbol that is associated with Nazism. The transgenders are the Nazis. Makes total sense. To expose the underlying totalitarianism espoused in gender ideology. I don't think that Jordan Henry or Ray Shelton would be able to actually define any of those words in that sentence. Maybe not any of them, but I don't think that they know what totalitarianism is. I really don't think they know what that is, because if they did know what it is and what it means, then they wouldn't have used it here, because this is not the correct use of this word in any way, shape, or form. Ray was 2 months from retirement and will not finish the year teaching the students who loved him. Death threats were made against Ray and me today. Pray for Ray. So this guy showed up. He's a 5th grade teacher. He was a 5th grade teacher who just walks around with swastikas. That's normal. Now that's normal. You want to know what's not normal? According to the conservatives now. Children's genitalia. So this guy, this is a clip. Jesse Waters invited totally not a Nazi Ray Shelton on his program. I think this was last night. I'm honestly not sure. And they played some of the clips of the school board meeting where Ray Shelton spoke. And he says some really weird shit in here, guys. And I honestly, I don't know if YouTube will be okay with me even playing this. I really don't know if I can even play this, but...
Trans agenda is a religion now. Convert or be canceled. Those are your only options. If you speak out, get ready to be punched by Trantifa.
Yeah, and just for context, what he's showing right here, this footage of a brawl that happened outside of a school board meeting in Glendale, California last week. You guys could go and look this up. It's been everywhere. There were trans activists and LGBTQIA+ activists that showed up to protest. They were peacefully protesting. And then you want to know what happened? Crazy, insane Trump supporters, crazy MAGA people showed up, and they threw the first punch. There are multiple videos, multiple witnesses that have stated that everything was fine until the Trump people showed up. So he says, get punched by Trantifa. No, actually, if you go outside and try to do a peaceful protest, as part of the LGBTQIA+ community, you might get beat the fuck up by Republicans, because they are the violent ones.
Or worse, lose your job.
But he's not. He's only showing one part of it, and he's also not explaining it. He throws up a video of these people getting beat down, and he throws in some zinger. You're gonna get punched by Trantifa, and these people that watch Fox News, they just eat this shit up, and that's exactly what it is. It's shit. It's straight diarrhea.
That's what happened to Ray Shelton. Ray's gay. 2-time Teacher of the Year in Glendale, California.
I also like how they purposely throw in that he's gay, as if. Any other time, any news network, NBC, CNN, anytime some celebrity gets up there and talks about their sexuality or, struggling, with their sexuality, or maybe their gender identity, maybe it's a celebrity that does that. They make fun of them. They say, why do you need to say that? Why do you need to bring it up? Why do you need to bring up that he's gay? Hypocrites. Hypocrites 1,000,000%. You don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to know about these people. They're just straight hypocrites it's every single word out of their mouth.
And he was fired for misconduct. after criticizing his school's radical trans curriculum at an April school board meeting. Watch.
Yeah, because Jesse Waters does not mention the swastika. He doesn't bring that up at all in this interview because that's totally normal. Actually, I don't know if he does. He might. I don't think he does. I might be wrong on that. But this is the part that I said I don't know if I'll be able to play. I'm going to play it. I don't know what's going to happen.
2 + 2 = 4. The world is not flat. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. Gender is binary.
You see? Do you see how weird that is? Do you see how nobody was talking about genitalia? No one was talking about little boys or girls, and then he brought that up? Do you see how weird that is? I really am having trouble understanding this disconnect here. Why are you talking about genitalia like this? You brought this shit up. They're the ones that love to say, oh, they're mutilating kids' genitals. No one's talking about kids' genitals except for you. You are talking about that. No one brought that shit up except for you. So it's kind of weird that the first thing out of his mouth is boys have penises, girls have vaginas. It's just, no one, this guy's a 5th grade teacher.
And cannot be changed. Biology is not bigotry. Heterosexuality is not hate.
Nobody thinks that. No one thinks that. No one thinks that, and he says, biology is true. Biology is fact. But if you go and look, again, there is so much, not a lot, not as much as there will be years and years from now, but there is so much research. Very, very, very in-depth research from people that dedicate years and years of their lives to this stuff. Transgender studies, studies on gender ideology, gender identity, Again, gender is a social construct. I don't know why Republicans have a hard time understanding that. That is exactly what gender is. And there is a difference between gender and sex. If this guy really was going to sit up here and say, biology is true and right, then he would accept the science that literally says that gender-affirming care for young people, for youth, is literally good. It only promotes positive mental and physical health. It creates a better environment for them. It makes it... I'm having a really hard time articulating this right now because I've said it so many times, and I don't understand how someone can listen to this and think, oh yeah, that guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. He's not saying anything. He's just using these words, and he's trying to make it sound like he's saying something smart, when in the reality, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Transgender ideology is
it's not real.
Anti-gay.
No, it's not. It's not a real thing, but even if it was, how? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Can you explain that one to me? That makes no sense. No. No.
It is anti-woman, and it is anti-human.
It's not true. That's just not true at all. This guy's a 5th grade teacher. I mean, I definitely think that this 5th grade random teacher from some, again, random school board, or random county in the United States, Glendale School District, I guess this is Florida. I totally believe this 5th grade teacher knows more than, some of the top researchers at Harvard, some of the top scientists that study gender identity, all of these different things. I totally trust this 5th grade teacher. I totally think he knows more than, again, all of the people at anything. Fucking New England Journal of Medicine, whatever you want to use,
Wants to take away women's sports, women's rights, women's achievements. It is misogyny writ large.
It's not. How? You're not substantiating these claims, you're just saying them. You're just saying it.
He also went on Dr. Phil just to talk common sense.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate.
If
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole.
They are men. He's not speaking common sense. This man is living in a delusion. If you cannot accept that trans men are men and trans women are women, you are living in a delusion. You are living in a fucking delusion. If you don't want to live in reality, I guess you have every right to do that. But don't come to anybody or don't sit there and say out loud that these people aren't real, that they're not really men or they're not really women. Don't say that shit, because they are. You are choosing not to accept because you probably have something that you're struggling with, or you're insecure about something about yourself that you're too afraid to confront. But don't attack other people because you are a pussy.
Group of
They're
people
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man.
That's not. This guy, I'm glad he got fired. I'm glad he got fired 2 months before he was going to retire. Fuck this guy. He doesn't need to be teaching kids. This guy doesn't need to be teaching kids. What a horrible, disgusting human. I can just imagine even one kid sitting in his class that might be at an early age struggling with their gender identity maybe. And then he gets up there and he says shit like that. Disgusting. Horrible. What a nasty old man.
Man. You can pretend to be a man. And
It's not pretending to be a man, bro. Come on. I'm sorry that you're too old to understand this, but maybe you need to educate yourself and then you can come back and teach. Except not, because we don't want you. You're literally a fucking Nazi. No one carries swastika memes around with them. That's fucking crazy. That's weird. I'm carrying my swastika around because it reminds me of how much I hate it. It's like the Harlan Crow thing. He has like statues of like Mussolini and Hitler paintings, and Ben Shapiro gets on there and says it's to remind him about how great capitalism is. It's like, no, dog. That's not what it is. Okay? You're fucking weird. You showed up to a school board meeting with a swastika. I label you a Nazi. If you have swastikas in your pocket or you're pulling out swastikas, you're running around with them, you're a fucking Nazi. Straight up. I'm sorry.
okay.
There's no way around it. And I don't have sympathy for Nazis. I just don't. I don't give a fuck about a Nazi. I don't care. And what happens to this guy? I really don't give a fuck. I'm glad he got fired.
Sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
She's 100% right about that. She is 100% right about that. Sex and gender are they're not the same thing at all. And again, if you're going to follow the science, that guy was up there talking about science like he knows. If you're going to follow the fucking science, that's exactly what science says. That is exactly what science says.
Not completely
They
different
are
things.
completely different.
Yes, they are, bro. Come on. Again, this guy's sitting here, he's laid back, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. Bro, you are so fucking dumb, uneducated. How did you become a teacher? Are you licensed to teach? Did you graduate for that shit? I don't think you did. Talking out of your ass, bro. Not substantiating any of the claims he's made so
Different
far.
Words.
Now, Ray was
I'm so glad he got fired. I'm really glad he got fired. I'm going to keep saying that.
70% of the country believes and what 100% of science believes.
Not true. He's also I think he's referencing a Gallup poll when he says 70% of the country. I think the exact number on that Gallup poll was 69%. But again, if we're going to use a poll from one polling institute to just literally gauge what every single person in the country thinks, or at least 70%, then guess what, motherfuckers? The majority of Americans support gun control. But are you saying that on your program? No. That's why polls, I think polls can be useful for certain things, but when you're just gonna cherry pick one and just run with that and think that that's the end all say all of whatever issue you're talking about, how am I supposed to trust you? How am I supposed to take you seriously or believe what you're saying or take it as fact when that's just so naive and it's just dumb.
So he's now suing the school.
Good. He's gonna lose that lawsuit, guarantee. I hope he loses the lawsuit.
Shelton is an attorney.
And I hope he has to pay a bunch of money to lawyers after he loses his suit.
David Pivtorek joins me now. All right, Ray.
What does this dude got? Why has he got a cowboy hat on? What is this dude doing with his Texas 10-gallon? Take that shit off, bro. You got to be more professional than that. You're on Fox News. That'd be like me wearing this. I mean, I would do it, but
What did the school tell you?
it just looks goofy to me.
Well, just
I like how, again, he just doesn't address the swastika at all. He's not going to address the swastika. He's not going to bring that up. He's not going to throw that picture up because, again, it's totally normal. Showing fifth graders swastikas is totally normal. It's a totally normal thing.
See, first, I didn't get, you're right, I didn't get thrown out of a restaurant, but I did get thrown out of my job. The school basically told me that
This is
I was
really awkward.
engaging in hate speech.
Yeah, I mean, you went on Dr. Phil and said that stuff that wasn't true. You said that trans men are men pretending to be men, women dressing up as men, or vice versa. That's hate speech. Pretty sure that would qualify as hate speech, bro. So, yeah. Can you act like a man? Can you act like a big boy? Can you put your big boy pants on and stop acting like a little kid that didn't know any better, please? You're an adult, grown man who used to be a fifth grade teacher, and you're sitting here not willing to take accountability or responsibility for anything you said, think you're totally in the right. I don't know. I have no sympathy for this guy. I think he's a Nazi. You don't just randomly have swastikas, and you're not a Nazi.
And creating a hostile work environment for the kids.
I have, it's not, I don't actually know him personally, but I know somebody. My fiance has a friend who is a teacher, and he is gay. He teaches little kids. He's an elementary school teacher, and I've only spoken to this person maybe once or twice, but he's totally normal. He's really high energy. He's super upbeat, and I've never seen him teach, but I know he's really great with the kids. Okay, and again, when you have a teacher that's a part of that community, like the gay community, and you have someone like this that's sitting there saying all of these things, and I know it was mostly anti-trans rhetoric that he was saying there. Again, it still can create a hostile work environment for, again, someone that might be a teacher that might be gay, or maybe there's a teacher that's trans. I absolutely would, put you under that category of creating a hostile work environment because of the things that you're saying. And again, if you can't take responsibility for that, if you can't act like a grown fucking man, shut your fucking mouth. Keep it shut. If you cannot accept responsibility for your actions and your words, shut your fucking mouth. Don't open it.
So
That was there.
speaking scientific facts is hate speech.
That's not what he did. That's not what he did. I don't know how long this video is going to be, guys. It's already 17 minutes.
Yes.
Did they let
This is a really, 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 really interesting interview, guys. I mean, Jesse Waters is asking some of the most groundbreaking questions. You spoke scientific facts and got fired? Did you get fired? You got fired? That's pretty much all that they've discussed so far. So you got fired? Yeah, I got fired. You got fired? Yeah, I got fired.
you down easy? Was this a face-to-face thing? How did it go down?
Well,
Did they let you down easy? Was it face-to-face? Are these really the best questions that he has? Groundbreaking journalism. Blown away. My mind is blown by these questions. Incredible. Jesse Waters deserves every single award that you can possibly earn or be awarded for journalism, because these are just, I don't know. I don't know I don't know. These questions are just really, really great questions.
after that meeting, the school board meeting on the 18th, I went to school the next day and was met by an administrator and my principal, and they
Did they tell this guy to talk this slow on purpose? Because he was talking a lot faster in the school board meeting. They really just don't have anything else to say. I feel like they just brought him on to, they're just platforming a Nazi again. Is this really what this boils down to? Because so far, he hasn't said anything of any interest to anybody. He's describing how he got fired.
marched me out of my classroom, and my kids, my students, where are you going? And that sort of thing. And we went upstairs, sat me down. They read a letter saying that I was being placed on leave and not.
They pulled him out of class in the middle of a school day, in the middle of him teaching, and fired him? Really? I find that really hard to believe. I don't believe that shit at all. In the middle of you teaching your class, they came and got your ass. Really? Really?
To set foot on GUSD property. And then marched me out to the edge of the property, telling me not to set foot back on school property, and then they would contact me later about what specific complaints they had against me.
I mean, some teachers
So-
that sleep with students have been treated better than that. Do you
What? The shit that they say is so weird sometimes. It's just so weird, the things that they think about.
have good relationships with your students? Are your students upset that you've been treated like this?
They were heartbroken. They showed up later at school board meetings. Parents came to try and spoke to the board trying to get me back in the classroom. And the person who replaced me,
I like how the headline that they're running down here is "Convert or Get Canceled," which is not what happened. This guy was literally going up there and just saying things that weren't true. He went on Dr. Phil and said some more shit that wasn't true. It's not convert or get canceled. It's called, if you're gonna fucking literally pull out swastikas, fucking just spew the most insane hate speech against trans people, it's not convert or get canceled. You got yourself canceled because you opened up your big fat stupid mouth and, again, said some shit that you shouldn't have said.
just wasn't up to par in terms of dealing with the students, and many of my parents were heartbroken, and the school just simply
That's too bad. That's just too fucking bad. I don't want a Nazi teaching my fucking kid. No. I don't want no fucking Nazi teaching my fucking kid. I don't want someone that has swastikas in their pockets fucking teaching my fucking children, or anywhere near my goddamn children for that matter. Fucking disgusting. Weird.
they're just not interested in
Yeah, they're not interested in having a Nazi teach their children. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not interested in having a Nazi teach my children either, so.
Good teachers. They're interested in obeying.
You're not a good teacher, bro. You're not. How can you sit there and say that when you said trans men are just people dressing up? That's not. I can't believe I'm listening to a grown man sit here and whine like a big fat fucking baby and cry that he got fired because he said some stupid shit. It's all your fault. It's no one else's fault. You can blame yourself, okay? That's it.
You must enforce this transgender ideology on the youngest of children. You must use their preferred pronouns, not only as a teacher, but other students must use the preferred pronouns or they will be expelled.
It's just like, it's the same thing. It's like the right. They don't like being called Nazis or white supremacists, even though that's literally what they are. They don't like that. So you call this guy a Nazi, like I've been doing throughout this video, and he says, oh, well, don't call me that. Well, you have a swastika, so you're a Nazi. But then when it's someone that, might use different pronouns than, what we would consider, traditional, I guess, in this sense, it's all of a sudden, it's a problem. Why? Why is it a problem for you to call someone what they want to be called? Why is that affecting you so badly? What are you hiding from? What are you running away from? What are you so afraid of that you can't call other people by their preferred pronouns? What are you so deeply insecure about that you cannot respect others in one of the most general ways possible? Please tell me so I could get to the root of this issue. Because I can't wrap my head around it. It's like I said in my video yesterday. When you are a conservative, when you exist in this echo chamber, when this is all you consume, your brain it's instant fucking brain rot. Your brain turns into a puddle and it doesn't work anymore after that. And this is our living proof.
These laws affect not only teachers in free speech, but also the children themselves. If they see somebody who's clearly a woman, but who's pretending to a man, if they
How do you know? How do you know it's a woman? How do you know it's a man? Are you staring at their genitalia? Again, something else that's totally normal, not weird at all? You say you see a woman and they're pretending to be a man, and it's like, what do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? How can you tell everyone's gender just by looking at them? So weird. This is so weird. I mean, I can't fathom that this guy taught 5th graders. God damn, I'm glad he's out. What a weirdo. What a little insecure weirdo.
Gender them, they will get written up. They'll get disciplined.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what we need. Yeah, you get disciplined if you don't do what the fuck you're supposed to do. If you can't respect people, again, on one of the most basic surface levels, if you can't do that, yeah, you deserve to be disciplined. We're not fucking little kids. We're grown-ass adults. Stop acting like you're a little kid that doesn't know any better. You're old as shit. You know better, okay? I'm sorry that you grew up in a different time and things were different. They're not different anymore, motherfucker. And so unless you invent a time machine and go back to whenever you liked it, shut the fuck up and do what the fuck you're supposed to do. I don't have any sympathy. They got fired. I don't care if he was going to retire in 2 months. Fuck him. You're a Nazi. You have swastikas in your pockets. I don't want someone with swastikas near my child. At all. I don't have a problem with my child being around someone that's trans or gay or lesbian or whatever. I don't want someone that's a Nazi around my fucking kid. That's weird.
All right, counsel, we're running out of time. Real quick.
Thank God.
How are you going to litigate this? This seems like a slam dunk, but what do I know?
You don't know shit because it's not going to be a slam dunk, and I'm almost positive this guy's going to lose this lawsuit, and I hope he loses the lawsuit, and again, I hope he has to pay a fuck ton of money to lawyers after losing the suit.
Well, Jesse, you know, I think this is pretty much
This is a lawyer over here.
First Amendment case, as you can see. 50.
Nope, because there's this thing called hate speech. That's a thing, and that's what he did. And these people are just acting like it's not a real thing.
Years ago, the Supreme Court said that a public school teacher doesn't lose his right to free speech just because he's a public school teacher.
That's... Yeah. Bring that one up. That'll do you really well in court. Because hate speech is not real. It's not real.
And showing up as a private citizen to a school board meeting on his own time, talking about an issue that's not just of interest to the community, but to the entire country, that schools are transing kids behind their parents' backs.
Schools are transing kids behind their backs. I'm not even going to play any more of it. I'm not playing the rest of the clip. There's only like 30 seconds left anyway. I'm not going to let that guy say any more crazy wacko shit. You know, let me know what you guys thought of Ray Shelton and David Pivtorek. Let me know what you think of totally not a Nazi pulling out a swastika to show a meme to 5th graders that transgenders are the real Nazis because, you know, if you take lines and put them in the shape of a swastika, then it makes a swastika. Did you guys know that? That if you take something and then turn it into something else, then it's something else? I had no idea. I had no idea. I would have never ever been able to figure that one out. It blew my mind.